Welcome everybody to the Philosopher's Gaming News. Today I want to talk about a special and very interesting looking MMORPG called EverQuest Next. Probably you have played or heard about the EverQuest series. It is an old and legendary MMORPG series and it's very famous among many people. But since I'm not that big into MMORPGs and there were just two MMOs I played for a while at least, that was Star Wars Galaxies and Empire Divided, and Tibia, also some Rift, but that was like more 1 month, and usually I just play them for like 2 or 3 weeks or maybe a month and then I'm done with them. So I'm not that big and addicted to MMORPGs, but I have to say EverQuest Next really looks awesome. It looks very interesting and I want to talk a little bit about the mechanics of the game. And these game mechanics are really unique. You have seen them alone in other games, but this combination you have never seen before. So let's just get through them one by one. Number 1 would be a parkour-like movement through the game. You can leap from one cliff to another, jump over obstacles, or in general just move very fluently and fast over the world, which is a very awesome feature. It also looked like that you can fly to some degree, which allows you a very fast travel without a mount. And this is a problem in some older MMORPGs where there's no fast travel system and it's kind of hard to get a mount. And here this game solves it if you have the ability to move this fluent and fast over the map. It also looked a lot of fun and it looked like that you can go everywhere, that there are no limits for you. You can really go everywhere. It was like a canyon and they jumped from one cliff to another and the sorceress was teleporting a short distance and this anthropomorphic lion-like warrior, he could switch between 2 and 4 legs and then he get faster and could leap even further, and it doesn't seem that they had any limits there. They can just go everywhere and really fast, and also it looked a lot of fun moving around, and this is a very great feature, but that's not all. The main feature of the game is that it is a voxel based game. A voxel is pretty much a 3-dimensional pixel. Everything is made out of these voxels. They are like little blocks compared to Minecraft, just a lot smaller. And also Minecraft is not a voxel based game, don't get me wrong here. It's a technology compared to polygons, and these allow you pretty much the same things you have in Minecraft. You can destroy your environment, you can build your environment, you can manipulate these little blocks just on a far smaller scale. So you have more detail and the same graphic quality you have in modern games today. In other words, you have the same possibilities as in Minecraft, but with modern 3D graphics. The interesting thing about this concept is now that you have on different servers different experiences. For example, on the coordinate X, Y, whatsoever, you have a town. At the same coordinate at another server, there is no town there. There's a castle or nothing. And this is really interesting because in most MMORPGs we have today, you have the same experience on every server. But here in EverQuest Next, that is not the case. Each server has a unique environment, each server has its own adventures. And here we come to the next interesting feature of EverQuest Next, the AI. For example, some players decide to search for resources in a forest. And what happened before is that the AI thought about where could it place some enemies. And it decided, yeah, goblins shouldn't be there where they will get destroyed instantly near a village or on a main and heavy guarded road, so they got placed in the forest where they are protected and can do their stuff and do their raids. So the players will now meet this camp, these goblins there, and decide to destroy the goblin camp. And this will have consequences. For example, the Goblin King gets now really angry and sends an army, not to the forest but to the next village, and not instantly but sometime later. And then it will have an impact on the world. It will create a small world event, and probably the village, a player built village for example, could be destroyed in this action as far as I understood the possibilities of this game. And this is a very interesting feature of the game. It really is something a lot of gamers dreamed of, that the world reacts to your actions and creates dynamically content for you. The developers claim that the game can remember everything you have done and that the AI has the ability to create dynamic content based on your actions in the game. So every of your actions will have a consequence, and this is, in my opinion, a pretty much needed feature in the MMORPG genre, because it is so static and it seems to be a rule set in stone that every user has to have the same experience with every character he creates and on every server he joins. And this is, in my opinion, a very old concept, and I'm happy that EverQuest Next is trying to break this rule. And the idea of unique content with every character and even a different environment on different servers, that is a totally awesome idea. I like it, and I hope they can keep their promise and will be successful with it, because this will result in a new generation of MMORPGs, and in my opinion it is time for this. The next feature I want to talk about is the constructability of the game. We talked about the destructibility earlier in the video, so the possibility to destroy everything in the game. But there's also another side to it, the ability to create anything in the game. It seems like they are not just working on EverQuest Next, but also on EverQuest Next Landmark. So let me explain what EverQuest Next Landmark is, as far as I understand it. So it seems to be the EverQuest version of Minecraft combined with the housing system of Star Wars Galaxies. And this game is somehow connected to EverQuest Next itself, but I will explain it later in the video. So in EverQuest Next Landmark, you can create a character, walk through the world and gather resources, and out of these resources you can build stuff. For example, you dig into the earth, and every voxel you destroy this way you get a resource of a specific type for. And with these resources you can do different things. For example, you can just take your stone and create a house out of it. That would be one possibility. The other would be you go to a crafting station and update your pickaxe so you can dig faster and through harder materials. Or you build some objects out of your materials, like a statue or a torch or whatsoever you can use as a decoration for your house. The difference now to Minecraft, because this is pretty much Minecraft in a nutshell, is that your building options are restricted outside of a specific area. In this specific area you can claim. You can go nearly everywhere and claim an area. And this is, I think, a so-called landmark. And on this landmark you have pretty much the developer tools for creating stuff and have all the options. Also, there's a Star Wars Galaxies like permission system, so if you want other players to help you with your building project, then you can give them all the options you have too. But if you don't want to give them all the options, you can restrict their building options, and it is also possible to exclude other players out of your area so they can't build there at all. It seems like the game is about exploring the world, finding resources and creating stuff out of it. So it's pretty much like Minecraft, but there's more to it. Sony Online Entertainment claimed that they want a regular contest. So they give the community a theme and then everyone can build around this theme. And then the community and the developers decide which one is the best, and the winner will be implemented into EverQuest Next itself. Their idea behind it is that they just don't want to create the game themselves, but together with the community, which is a very interesting concept. The last feature I want to talk about are so-called rallying calls. There are a lot of questions still open to it, but it seems like they are pretty complex world events. For example, a rallying call could be to build a player city. Then there are a lot of options for you. For example, you say, I'm not interested in building a city, so I don't participate. That is one option for you. Another would be, I would like to build something. Then you can be among the people that build the city. Or you could say, I want to gather resources for the city or for building the city. Then you can gather resources. Also, you could say, the guys down in the ground gathering resources, they need protection, and I will kill the creature that attacks them and protects them. That would also be an option. Then it could happen that when you have a certain state reached with your city, that you get attacked by a huge orc army, and then you have to defend the city against this army. On the other side, it could happen that the creatures down in the mining pits went up and also attack the orcs or attack the city or whatsoever. There are a lot of options there, and this seems to be very complex. But still, I don't have an idea of how this will work exactly in the game, and they didn't show game material to it, just a little pictured presentation to it. But it's a very interesting concept and idea, and if they can really pull it off, that you have a lot of options participating on this rallying calls and have different tasks to do for every player on the server, then this will be a very interesting thing. So the last news for today is that Papers, Please got released. It's out for several days now, and I just forgot to mention it in my last video, so I do it now. And I really can recommend this game. It's an awesome game, a unique game with a very special game concept. For those who don't know, I tried to explain what the game is about, but it's pretty hard to explain. So in Papers, Please, you play an immigration inspector at a border checkpoint. And you have the power to decide who can pass a border and who can't pass a border. But there are several problems with it. For example, you have a family, and this family needs your money. They need a warm flat, they need to pay rent, they need to pay for food, and when they are ill, they also need to pay for medicine. And you have to get this money, you have to cover these costs. And if you don't cover these costs completely, they will probably get sick. And this is a problem, because then they need medicine and then you have to earn even more money. That's pretty tough one. It's really hard to get enough money a day, because you only get paid for people that passes the border. And if you do a mistake, then you get a penalty and get paid less. So you have to work pretty fast, but can't make a mistake there. And this results into other problems, like moral decisions. For example, there's a woman with a valid passport, and she says to me, the guy next in line with the name so-and-so, he will kill me if you let him pass, please help me. I could help her. But this can result in a penalty, and I get probably paid less. What then happens is that my family will get sick, and then I need medicine, so my costs increase. Now, since I made so many mistakes in the past, or I don't know, something bad happens in a neighbor country, then my rule set will become more complex and I have to check more details. Now I'm not as fast as before, and I will make less money a day because I have a fixed time and the time never stops, and the time is just my biggest enemy in the game. And then your family suffers until you compensate, until there is another moral decision and you probably will get another penalty for it. And then your family suffers again, so it's like a cycle that's just repeating itself over and over again. And in my opinion, this is a statement or a message the game wants to deliver. It seems like that there are some cases in our society where people get punished for being friendly to each other or for helping each other out, because there is some rule set behind it that restricts them in this way. Some of these rules make totally sense, but there are also a lot of rules that don't make any sense. And this is, in my opinion, a good but not the only point the game wants to make here. And all this makes this game a pretty unique experience. Even if it is a little bit depressing here and there, it is a very intense and unique experience. If you're interested in the game, it is $10 on Steam or GOG. I think in Europe it should be €8.99, and please support the developer. It's a really awesome and unique game. I guess if you just want to have a little demo of the game, the free beta version is still available on the developers page, but I'm not sure. And yes, that is everything I have for today. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, please press a like button. If you have anything to say, write it down in the comment section. Thank you for watching and goodbye.